Obinna was known for his unrelenting dreams that stretched far beyond the humble boundaries of his village. He dreamed of wealth, not just in gold or cattle, but in wisdom, opportunities, and the prosperity of his people. Yet, despite his dreams, his life was one of struggle. Every day, he toiled on his farm, but the soil was stubborn, and the harvests were meager. Frustrated and weary, Obinna often sat by his fire, wondering if his dreams were destined to remain just that, dreams. One evening, as the sky blushed with the colors of dusk, a mysterious figure appeared in the village. It was an old griot, a wandering storyteller whose tales were said to hold the power to transform lives. The griot's staff clinked against the earth with every step, and his voice carried the weight of ancient wisdom. The villagers gathered to listen, but it was Obinna who was most captivated. When the griot's tale ended, Obinna approached him with urgency. "Old man," Obinna began, "I've heard your stories of great kings and prosperous merchants. Tell me, how can I, a humble farmer, make this current year the richest year of my life?" The griot studied Obinna, his eyes twinkling with a knowing light. "Oh, my son," he said, "true wealth does not begin with gold or land. It begins with a journey. If you are willing to embark on it, I will guide you." Obinna nodded eagerly. And so, the griot began to weave a tale. In a land not far from here, the griot began, there lived a merchant named Chinoza. Chinoza was known far and wide for her prosperity, yet her wealth did not come easily. One day, the god sent a messenger to her with a challenge. "You will become richer than you've ever dreamed," the messenger said, "but only if you take 4 paths, fail at one, and you will lose everything. Succeed, and the riches of the world will be yours." Chinoza accepted the challenge and set out to conquer the first path, the path of patience. She traveled to a vast forest where the trees grew taller than the mountains, and there, the god of time awaited her. The god spoke, "To move forward, you must learn to wait for the right moment. Patience is the seed from which success grows." At first, Chinoza was frustrated. The forest was silent and still, and there seemed to be no sign of movement. But she remembered the god's words and learned to sit quietly, observing the rustle of leaves, the gradual shifting of shadows, and the rhythm of nature. Days turned to weeks, but in the stillness, she discovered opportunities she had overlooked. By the end of her stay, she had mastered the art of patience, and the forest revealed a hidden path leading her to the second trial. The second path was the path of knowledge. Chinoza arrived at a grand library carved into the side of a mountain. Inside, she found scrolls that held the wisdom of ancient kingdoms. A stern guardian appeared and said, "Knowledge is not a treasure you can hoard, it is a tool you must wield. Prove your understanding by solving the riddles of these scrolls." Chinoza studied tirelessly, reading about trade, negotiation, and the cycles of nature. She made mistakes but learned from each one, piecing together strategies that would later transform her business. When the guardian was satisfied, he handed her a golden key to unlock the next path. The third path was the path of sacrifice. Chinoza arrived at a sacred altar, where the god of sacrifice appeared. "To gain what is valuable," he said, "you must let go of what you hold most dear." Chinoza's heart sank. She carried with her a silver mirror, an heirloom passed down through generations. It symbolized her family's legacy and her pride. Yet, with trembling hands, she placed it on the altar. The mirror vanished, and in its place, a new path emerged. Chinoza left with a heavy heart but soon discovered that letting go had made her lighter, more focused, and ready for the final trial. The last path was the path of generosity. The god of wealth appeared before her and said, "You have learned patience, gained knowledge, and made sacrifices. But to achieve true prosperity, you must share your riches with others." Chinoza hesitated. She had worked hard for what she had. But she began to invest in her community, teaching young traders, sharing her strategies, and giving to those in need. To her astonishment, her wealth multiplied. Her name became synonymous with wisdom and kindness, and her legacy endured for generations. The griot paused, his story complete. Obinna sat in silence, the weight of the tale settling in his heart. "Old man," he said, "I understand now. To make this year my richest year, I must walk the 4 paths myself." The griot smiled. "Then go, my son, and may your journey bring you not just wealth, but wisdom." Obinna began his journey the very next day. He started by practicing patience, allowing his soil to rest and replenish. He studied the ways of successful farmers and merchants, absorbing every lesson he could. When he faced challenges, he sacrificed his comfort and pride, taking risks that ultimately paid off. And most importantly, he shared his growing success with his community, creating opportunities for others. By the end of that year, Obinna was no longer just a farmer. He was a leader, a teacher, and a guiding light of prosperity for his village. The griot returned, this time as a guest of honor, to hear the villagers sing songs of Obinna's journey. And so, Obinna's story became a tale that the griot carried to other villages, inspiring countless others to embark on their own journeys toward the richest year of their lives. Lesson: true worth is not found in gold or possessions but in mastering patience, seeking knowledge, embracing sacrifice, and practicing generosity. The richest year of your life begins with the courage to embark on the journey within. Like, subscribe for more content on how to create wealth starting from where you are now.